Hey, I had good lunch. I had a good lunch with a friend of mine the other day. And what was interesting about this particular lunch is he asked me a question. I mean, this has been like a year or so ago, but he said, asked me what I thought about ISIS. And I said, what is ISIS? What are you talking about? And he goes, you don't know what ISIS is? And in disbelief, he went on into great detail, telling me all about the horrors and terribleness that this group had been imposing on the world through its terrorist methods. After we moved on from this dark topic of ISIS, he then asked me my thoughts on the Oscar Pistorius murder trial. Once again, I had to ask, what are you talking about? This time, my friend could not believe his ears. Had I been living in a cave? How could I possibly not know about these two events? The rest of the world was talking nonstop about this new threat, ISIS, and they were captivated by the trial of this disabled track star and the death of his girlfriend. Yet I was clueless. It's not because I'm not a technical guy. I'm on Twitter all the time at Alonzo62 and on Facebook. I write blogs. I do YouTube videos like you're watching here. And I love to connect with people all over the world. But nevertheless, I had somehow managed to go on and live my life without knowing about these two issues, ISIS and Oscar Pistorius. Now, as my friend was unloading on me, trying to do me a favor and educate his ignorant friend on these two events, I had an extreme sense of joy welling up inside of me. I had avoided these two news stories up until that day. I was happy. It dawned on me how to boycott the news had affected me in a really good way. Okay, here you go. I don't watch the news. I don't watch it, period. None. Now, let me explain. I used to love the news. I watched it anytime it was on. Dan Rather, Peter Jennings, Wolf Blitzer, even Barbara Walters. Talk radio, newspapers, local, state. I even had a subscription to the Wall Street Journal and the USA Today. Internet news. Yep, I dieted on that stuff all day long. Then one day, I had an epiphany. Let me ask you, what comes out of an orange whenever you squeeze it? Orange juice, right? We all know that, right? Does grape juice ever come out of the orange when you squeeze it? No. What if you squeeze it on a Saturday? What comes out of it then? Still orange juice, right? No matter when I squeeze an orange, doesn't matter what color shirt I have on when I squeeze it, orange juice always comes out. Now the question is why? Why does orange juice come out of an orange whenever we squeeze the orange? The reason is because that's what's inside. Now, how about you? When life squeezes you, what comes out of you? Hatred, anger, negative, quitting, emotions of despise and regret? What comes out of you? The question then is, why does that stuff come out of you when life puts pressure on you and squeezes you? The reason? Because that's what's inside. Now, the question is, how did all that negative stuff get inside you? The answer? You want to know the truth? Because you put it there. See, our brains are always absorbing information, the good stuff and the not so good stuff. Even the stuff that we don't want to absorb, it soaks it all in. It's a 24-hour, 7-day a week recording machine. What if we keep as much negative stuff out as possible? Epiphany. I don't watch the news. I'll tell you what, go ahead and watch the news tonight. Go ahead. As you do, I want you to take note of how many negative stories in a 30-minute news cycle that there are. And I want you to notice how many positive news stories in that same 30-minute cycle that there are. Then you will understand why I don't watch the news. But you scream, someone screams from the back of the room, but you have to be informed. Okay, I understand. How much does my life change, whether I know about ISIS or not? Not much. How much does my life change if I know about the latest celebrity scandal or not? Not much. Really, it's pretty much worthless information. And if we're honest, it has very little bearing on our own lives. However, if the last thing I do before I go to sleep is watch 30 minutes of stories about war, terrorism, molestation, rape, murder, scandal, government failure, and celebrities gone amok, and then the first thing I listen to each day is the same regurgitated mess, how does that affect my mindset? Do those kinds of things lean me to be more negative or more positive? Guys, life is tough. It's tougher if you're negative. And it's tougher to be positive if you're dieting on negative material throughout the day. And this is why I don't watch the news. Have an awesome day. Please like and subscribe to this channel and catch me on Twitter